guys, how are we doing on this fine Tuesday? I am doing alright, thank you very much. Yeah, went up to Stockton today, and it was a pain, but it was alright. Got some stuff sorted, so that's good. Sorting my job, stuff like that, you know. Other than that, so my sister has actually gone in for some major surgery today. So I'm a little worried about her, but apparently she's out. All seemed to have gone fine. So we're just waiting on confirmation that it was successful. But yeah, I'm a little sort of in the background worried, but it'll be hopefully it'll be fine. So yeah, that's put down on the day a little bit, but hopefully it's all good. My niece is with a mum and has said she's out and hasn't said anything else, so I'm gonna say it's pretty okay at the moment, at least. So yeah, so get well soon as this. Miss you already, because I'm not going to be able to see her for a while. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to see her for a while. So it is what it is. Let me put my watch on charge. Just noticed up there. Right. Other than that, my back is absolutely killing me. I haven't actually been training tonight. It's just how it worked out getting my daughter to sleep and stuff. Right. I'm gonna go speak with Jill. Where is Jill? Jill is over here.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea.
To do something with you. It's not wishing on a star, though.
This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive?
And do his best.
You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
Alright, there's some side quests. There we go.
Better make sure.
Woo. There's a lot of side quests.
Or I haven't forgotten anything.
Two in here. Search for Western. Reluctant as I am to add to your burdens, I would ask your aid in a personal matter, albeit one that may be beneficial to your cause. There exists ancient text deemed so injurious to the modern thought that mere possession is deemed a crime. It was a chance encounter with one such tomb from a distance that sparked within me this scholastic curiosity which burns to this very day. Wish to enlist your aid in reclaiming that text. Do you require further incentive? I know that I am willing to offer compensation for services rendered.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
No. I'm gonna say it's probably not there, Clive. Right, this is gonna be a side quest stream. We've got a lot to do. I'll take 3 at a time. In case you haven't noticed, your poor hound spends all his time of late on the rear deck whimpering like Gavin this cups. Something ain't right, and my gut tells me it's not to do with his supply of antelope bones.
What is it this time, Torgal?
Right, I think we can have 3 side quests going at a time. Let's do one for Joshua.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And
Good
in the
idea.
process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Right. So many side quests. Literally kill them all. Okay. I thought someone would show up. Actually, somewhat annoying.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but... But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
All right.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as
We have.
always. but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy,
We've got to fuck up some
fear
bad
she
guys.
asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors.
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known.
We need
Or,
that book.
so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
A fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait.
Interesting.
I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Okay. Think for Garnick. We need anything from you.
Clive. Go on then.
You.
Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Say what you will. Lady Karen seems...
What's going on, Toggle?
Pining for something, boy.
Sort
Is
of,
it?
by the way, about sort of
Is he out
11 my time, so in an hour and a quarter, I'm probably going to have to finish this
I never did
stream
ask where you
because
got that anklet of yours.
the cats will be
Sid,
doing
that's
the wife's,
why. On the day he brought him home.
wife's train, so...
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal.
Fair, Karen.
Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Fuck off, Karen.
Where to then, Torgal?
It's photo. Since this one appears to be purely at the hideaway.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me?
We'll do this one first.
I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Make for the mooring outside Port Isolde. Right. Alright, do we just do these in order? We're at the point. Yeah, let's do these in order. See what we get. Okay.
This one. Over here. This one. This one.
Karen, back in.
Get him.
Right, and for Garnick, which I'm fairly certain is going to be full of bad guys.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
The one that looks the smartest. I double check around for goodies. No, we've been up there. Okay. Hang on, game. Royal Intelligence Training Report. In the wake of the tragic fire carried over in 873V and the subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligences, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in clandestine maneuvers, improvised weaponry and assassination techniques, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stone here for inspection. This report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick in reinvigorating Waloed's ranks of esteemed intelligences.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks?
A complete botany of banes. Etrifotida, or tail of wyvern. White flower and black of root, the latter of which gives out an inky gall when cut or crushed. Tribesmen in the northern storm prick their skin with oaken needles soaked in such strong, curious patterns on their arms and legs in honor of their heathen gods. The gall is passing toxicate. A single drop taken by mouth may result in cramps most painful for 5 days and 5 nights, if applied to a wound, certain death. Should a slip of the needle end a young warrior's life, it is said that his skin print failed to find favour among the heavens.
The dress was certainly varied.
Folklorist fablery, the Moogle. No spirit of pride or sprite appears more often in Valestine folktales than a humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labours. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest naught remain but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, except the small dark wings by which they somehow are able to make flight, and the brightly coloured pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet, there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow. The fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth, and in the case of the Moogle, the fact may not be so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration beside the name white is none other than the Moogle. Of course, it is true that the creature is not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carry them to other climes, perhaps they are hunted to extinction, or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden far away from human view. Yep, one's in the hideaway. From a distance. Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of Bearer of the Heavenly Blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing the Lord is living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove faithful. Divers nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities have for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meeting by force. Church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for 9 generations and decimated the population of men and bearers both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valestian people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valestia came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. It's well known phrase, bearers are other than human, had its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Yeah, we're gonna get attacked in a minute. Like now.
Leaving so soon, stranger. We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
That's nice.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely
prick.
refuse. I won't let you erase our
Yeah, never
history.
mind that, mate.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Let's. Wasn't paying attention. Take this, prick. Another down. Indeed, Joshua.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Fuck
Why
off.
do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
Yes.
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Okay. Well, don't you there. Jesus, we have a lot of side quests right now.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril,
You found a letter from Father? Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
My beloved sons, I know that I ask much of you in the coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms. Only with all Rosaria striving as one might we last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way, it shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength, the courage, and the will to do so. It shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you.
an inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of? His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
See, this is a good plan.
Men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime. But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
I think we probably should. Speak with Owen's aid in the Rectory.
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you.
I don't think they recognize
I am
her.
Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your
Oh, we have
father's
some good
wish
people who can sort
that
that
you
out.
be presented with the finished articles, not these works in progress, but with His Grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed. I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it.
Shock
It
horror.
is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Go. Fuck up,
Titan's way just to the south
Simmerg.
of here.
This way. I wonder if this is going to be an S rank thing.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
Don't need gil. Need potions.
There it is. For House Rossfield.
is that stop fucking about with that Lucan. I feel like to get the most out of that Zanzukin, you have to get your multiplier up to 1.5. I just can't seem to do that fast enough. Alright. Heaven's Cloud. Let's do Dancing Steel instead. See how we get on with that. See if we can get this up as quickly as possible. Yeah, I can. Hey, look, I can do that as well. Oh shit. See, I didn't.
Nice try.
I cannot swap my abilities fast enough. Fuck you stupid person. Just piss and die, will you? There we go. Yeah, I can't work out if you can. I need to work out if you can do the unsheath of the second blade and still do the magical attacks.
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Right. What new stuff do you have?
Here, take a look at my wares. A fine choice. Anything else? Go safely.
I think got this complete this quest. We'll pick up the other one in Terror. Because we're here. We might as well.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith.
Good. Well, I can't imagine that whatever we're going to get out of this is as good as the equipment we've already got.
The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
Yes,
for remaining
thank you.
the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us.
Gotta save the jewels
I tried to warn
first.
my father,
This is
but it
the
was
thing.
too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us, for giving my service meaning.
You are welcome. Founder's grasp. Fashion that. Ooh, ooh. It's only 3 down on events, but a massive boost in. Yeah. Yep. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Right. Okay, kind of into that.
Bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
Good
I
idea.
suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Should we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there, It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Sounds fair.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Okay, so visit the Archduke's Memorial. We certainly will.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. We've overcome Father's political enemies. That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. Mother was truly capable of. Perhaps these battles would have helped. Knowing he was with us made all the difference. Kill!
Come on, down here. Alright, I should go. Right. Okay, guess we're done with that. Go find Father's Memorial. How exactly are we supposed to get down there? Oh. Right.
It's just back
I'm
there.
not loving Odin's powers at the moment. Apparently the Sunset Zukin is one of the most powerful moves in the game. It doesn't seem as strong as the Bam Odin combo I had before.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
I think you do a fairly spectacular job of that, Clive.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
I don't think you'll mind there, Joshua, if I'm being honest. That was a good moment. I like that moment.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Alright, one down. Joining hands with Joshua is joined Clive's party and remain with him until departing for Origin. Cool. Zoldy. Please. Row your boat gently down the stream.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy.
I'm curious what this is gonna do. If it's just like a nice bit of wall, or if it's gonna like unlock some of Toggle's powers or something.
This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you.
Oh, it's a tree house.
Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Toggle?
Any cute. Toggle, I mean.
Coming here helped me to
Clive.
forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince. Shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps.
Clive, your mum was a bitch. It's
What is it, boy?
it's time you dealt with it, my friend.
This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal.
It's a Kodak moment.
For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either.
Sounds like a cunning plan to me.
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming.
Toggle's got a
I know where
family.
we're going.
Very sweet side quest, this. Can't deny it's a beautiful game.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
All right.
Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
He just work his way through the ones from the hideaway and then we'll do the ones.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable, that it can be changed, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species.
Join the club, love. Join the club.
My solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember,
Of course.
when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Alright, Scholar's Bonnet. Nice. I'm gonna get a lot of stuff to display in Clive's quarters, I think.
Come to claim your just desserts?
Yes.
All yours. All done?
Ooh, Nectar has finally got some new board things. 2 S ranks, please. Curse-breakers came across this creature while searching for survivors near the abandoned village of Garnick. Misled by the abomination's appearance into thinking she might be a local woman, they went to offer their help. Soon it was they who were seeking salvation. The survivors say they can still hear the screams, both those of the white and those of their fallen comrades. That's like not what we wanted. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bloody hell. You're the closest.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Curse Breakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but why this one?
Because he wants to be a scout. Our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking chains and putting slavers to the sword. But scouting, we're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily on Gav. And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better placed to recognize the traits in him that we should look for in those who'd fill his boots.
I mean, this is perfectly sound logic. I like this one.
The boys' test, then?
Time is yours.
One can never have too many scouts.
Truer words, Sid. I'll let the initiate know that you'll be attending his trial, and that he is to proceed directly to Northreach in readiness.
No time like the present, eh?
No time like the present. I'll await you there.
Cool.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. She found some way to send me a letter. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Sid,
Fun.
I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
And we go together.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Sid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Okay. Nobody's tool. That's two. Okay, third. Byron.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times we live in, huh?
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman.
Yeah.
But tell me, is the realm truly in as dire a state as Rutherford suggests?
Yes.
From what little I saw, you were right to be worried.
I suppose I should have expected the worst. But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more under control. Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and without it, the people are bound to lose their way. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. But in my estimation, there are two key areas to be addressed before any other. The realm's armies and her larders. As you've seen firsthand, it's every man and woman for themselves out there.
Yep, it
Certain
is.
cities have banded together to try and maintain some semblance of order, yes? But such cases are few and far between. And yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is unity. A unity that transcends even the borders laid down by our ancestors. In short, if Storm does not stand together, she will fall apart.
But how would one even begin to unite the realm?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin by restoring order among the ranks of those sworn to maintain it. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion. Field Marshal Eugen Havel.
Eugene.
I thought he was retired.
He was,
I said
until
Eugene.
an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. There is no man alive more capable. Literally.
Yeah.
And as luck would have it, I've already spoken with him on the matter.
Of course you have.
And he's agreed to help. On one condition.
that he first speaks with you personally. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle, and he has certain qualms about clasping arms with, well, with an outlaw. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he be allowed to appraise you in person. You don't mind.
Fair enough. That is your wish.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. I'll do whatever it takes. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with me in person, then so be it.
That's the spirit.
I'll leave for Randalar at once. Would you send a Stolas?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital. I'll have him tell Havel to expect you forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you, Uncle.
No, thank you, Clive.
All right. So we've got us 3. And we'll have 3 more. And we're done. All right. 1, 2, 3. And there's a bunch. There's 3 more in the hideaway, and then a bunch more side quests out and about. It must be near the end of the game.
Mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Harrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets if we don't cooperate.
And what can I do for you? I'll be here if you need me.
I'm nervous.
Probably should be nervous.
Sid, this is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav.
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training.
I can
ever
see
since,
the
so
cynical
one
part of me
day
sees
I
this
can be
side mission.
someone's saviour,
He just
like
gets
Gav
killed.
was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions.
I feel like if this was The Witcher,
sounds like you're under
that
no
would be the
illusions.
case.
Stick to this path and you'll make a fine curse breaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
Gonna be killed.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
How do I get up there? Okay, go through here. All right, makes sense.
Get him! Over here! Over here! Get him!
Fuck you stupid dinosaurs, just fucking die. Alright. I think if you're trying to sneak in, going up the main stairwell.
Perhaps young Ember really is ready.
It's probably not the best plan.
Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword! I can't! Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Nice try. Get him! This one.
God damn it. Right, so what I was talking about earlier, you can activate your abilities while it's unsheathed for the Zatsuken, which is what you want.
Ember, are you...
Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
No goodies. Alright. I feel Emma got a slightly bum rap there. Although, what I'm thinking is we'll get back and we'll go, here's the book, and wait, how'd you get that? It's like, well, you told me to create a distraction. I did. But I was gonna be like, fuck you, but also, hold on.
I needed that.
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Hey?
See, don't you?
How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid,
He did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
You agree.
We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
Alright. You need to Balmond Dark. Alright, where's number 2? Yeah. Hang on, folks. I just need to text my parents back. Okay.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
This one. Get him. This one.
I do love that some enemies are just called fodder. In this, it entertains me somewhat. Alright, come on, this is a trap. Let's be honest.
Guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer. Locked up tight.
Guess we're going this way.
Over here. Get him.
Key? The writ of designation. The Kingdom of Wooly would hereby designate this facility a prison for the detainment of bearers, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train Kazoo beasts for deployment in the field. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof is to be punishable by death. Captive bearers have been provided solely for the perusal of the aforementioned purpose. Express permission is required for the use of bearers in any other capacity.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled. Random Kazoo
Kuza beast feeding. Recent supply shortage left us with insufficient resources to feed the Kuza entrusted to our care. Unfortunately, the creature was observed to kill and consume the bearers assigned to fight beside it in a mock battle conducted as part of its training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding in this way, suggesting that live bearers may even be its preferred source of sustenance. While this behaviour is unexpected, it is not unwelcome. Bearers that are no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required.
They were faithful bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared.
Recommendation concerning Zoo beast deployment. Kuza has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. This being the case, it was hoped that successful deployment on the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. In exercises conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. It is proposed instead that bearer captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast then driven into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss of Waluda lives.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
That's where we're going. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. Oh, yeah, but it's good to know we can just jump off that.
Caution, brother.
Nah. No caution this time. Just killing them. They were powerful, Akashic.
No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse.
Yeah, it can be true.
Against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
I know where it fits.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
This is going to result in battling the Kuza Beast. Ooh, I said it right. Kuza Beast. I was wondering the first time where we got the key from, and then he went, "Oh, it's locked." I'm sure it said use key. I'm like, what key?
A survivor. She sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them.
Don't worry, we fucked them up.
Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? You wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
That's the big bad.
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
With pleasure. Whoa.
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Ooh, don't worry, Clive. We're gonna fuck that big beastie up. Hello, asshole.
The beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
kill!
Come on. There we go. Darius Max slain. Still not our Calcum. Behemoth Shackle. Behemoth Shackle.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
I'm pretty sure Chadwick was gone before long before I got out.
I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
Fair enough, Doris. Fair enough. Alright, folks. That is going to be it from me. Just get control and we'll hit save. Sometime later.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
What's the Kodak moments in this game?
I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped.
Fair enough.
But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Okay. Tomorrow's night stream will be called More Side Quests Than You Can Shake a Stick At. And that is it from me for tonight, folks. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will be back tomorrow. 9 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST. I really need to stop saying that because I'm rarely starting at 9 these days. And, yeah. Lost my train of thought. I'll be starting around 9 p.m. tomorrow night. Some more Final Fantasy XVI, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. And yeah, have a fantastic Wednesday. Sweet dreams, and I will catch you then. Good night.